so I was getting into my car today, and I hit my head getting into the car, and I actually felt it actually hurts worse on the other side of my head because I think my brain kind of went over there and bumped into the skull.
Oh.
And
no.
and so I don't know if that's going to help tonight's recording or not, or make it worse.
Good boy. You're listening to Time to Lean, and here's a song. Episode 90 with John and Phil and special guest, Mr. King. My other boss on sleepbaseball.com. This is Ed Unclehead, your narrator. I might pop in now and then and keep you company. Here we go.
But have no fear, we have a special guest today. This is the season finale of season 9, episode 90 of Time to Lean, and here's a song. And we have a very, very special guest. Yeah. His name is Mr. King.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll put in some applause.
That was it. That was the.
Well, it's better. I got some feedback from a family member last weekend about our Halloween episode that was along the lines of, I didn't know who the guest even was.
Well, I don't know who your family member was, so we're even.
And they liked that?
I think overall, but it was maybe you should introduce the person a little bit better.
Oh, that was a terrible introduction.
Yeah,
Well, I want him to introduce himself. He's a man that needs no introductions. King is the only guy that I know that's got a viral video on that YouTube thing. It's let's just start all over. 3. No, I'm kidding.
And now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Phil Hunter, and I'm on Time to Lean. I'm one of the co-hosts of Time to Lean, and here's a song. And I'm joined with John Knowles. And I just wanted to say this is our season finale, season 9, episode 90. And we thought we better bring in the big guns for this one. So we went all the way to the Windy City, Chicago. It's called that because people eat a lot of Chicago dogs in the Windy. I think there's a lot of wind. We'll ask our guest that. Why it's called Windy City. Anyway, our guest is, let's see. Where do I start? I knew him in college, kind of. A friend of a friend. I got to know him better over the years. Our friend Jesse, we have a mutual friend in common. Mr. King is our guest. And King is, he's the creator of sleepbaseball.com. I've mentioned it many times on here before. And I even get to be a part of it. So I'm very happy to have Mr. King on here finally on the show. He's also had a couple of viral YouTube videos. I don't know if we'll get into that, but millions of viewers. I think John and I, the most we got on one of our videos was, how many are we up to now on that?
BJ and the Bear?
The BJ and the Bear video.
There's at least a few hundred.
Yeah, that's viral for us.
No, I think it might be a little more because people maybe clicked on it thinking they were going to get to watch the show, BJ and the Bear.
That was kind of
But instead
marketing.
They got a badly made music video
with
the song. Yeah.
And in classic Phil introduction form, I ended up talking about myself when introducing a guest. So this is wonderful. King is here. King, hello. Are you here? Are you there?
I am here. I am there. Thank you.
He's everywhere.
Thank you. That was very kind. Nice. Delightful. Thank you.
There should be no complaints from the audience about that introduction.
Absolutely not.
Oh, except I started talking about myself. That's okay.
Well, hey.
It happens.
Come on. You guys have been doing this 9 years.
I was wondering.
It only
how long
feels like it.
So we're doing about 10 episodes a year?
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's not been 9 years, right?
I think this last season's probably taken 2 years. We're pretty slow, and most of it's my fault because of the editing. But
I think we started in 2016, 2015.
Wow.
So, but still, 8 years.
Close enough.
Nice.
Okay, fine.
Yikes. Anyway,
Well, King, why-
congratulations. Congratulations
We haven't
on
been
that.
canceled. Well, we were, but we made a comeback.
We had to get a different server. That's a different story. King, why don't you give us a little bit of an elevator speech and maybe fill in some of the blanks that I left out about who is you?
Well, I am a middle-aged gentleman who lives in Chicago with his wife, and we live in an apartment, and, life is good. How was that?
Well, there you have it.
That's great.
Okay.
Well,
There you have it.
the elevator got to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Floor?
I'm at my stop over here, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's about enough.
This is one of our shortest episodes. He's already left.
Okay.
still here. I'm
Quick
still here.
introduction. Plug the show and out.
Hey, I'll take whatever I can get at this point, please.
Well, what are you drinking?
Yeah, let's at least get that done.
I am drinking a Coors banquet beer in one of the stout cans, one of the little cans.
Those
a
are
little
cool.
stout can.
Yeah. Old school.
Is that what the hipsters like? No, they like hams or something.
I couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't tell you.
No, fine.
I don't leave the house, and I'm no spring chicken. Let's say.
I know you left the house at least once recently because you were interviewed by some famous sports guy whose name I
Famous
forgot.
Sports guy. Oh no,
Yeah.
I was at home for that interview.
Oh, never
in the
mind.
comfort
I
of my
thought you
own
actually
home,
went to
right?
the studio.
That was for the NPR guy, the baffling NPR guy.
Baffling.
No, he was fine. He was fine.
Okay.
I don't know if I remember that interview. Do I?
Well, I mean, Phil, there's so many of them. Christ, how do you keep track?
Maybe I don't know if I shared that one on Facebook. Okay, Coors. What do you got, John?
So I am drinking some Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Oh, you found some of that?
So yeah, and we've talked about this before on the show.
It's one of my favorites.
This is one of those bourbons that has gotten super hard to get because of its sort of relationship to Pappy Van Winkle and its ilk, and now people go crazy and buy it all up and everything. And I was recently out in Rapid City over the Thanksgiving holiday.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. Yeah. Surprising. Oh, no, it was good. And visited one of the better liquor stores out there, Mr. Liquor,
Oh,
and they had a bunch of it, so I had to get a bottle.
what's you with liquor stores? Your favorite one around here is Liquor Boy,
Yeah.
and in Rapid City, your favorite is Mr. Liquor. Mr. King? Do you have a favorite liquor store?
I'm not sure that I do.
Oh,
It's
Liquor King.
Yeah, maybe. I don't. They don't
probably
really.
is a
They
Liquor
don't.
King.
They don't really have names around here. Just like a sign that says liquor.
Well, okay.
What's the big one in Chicago? It's like Benny's or something like that.
Right.
Is that
Yeah. Benny's is like a
pretty famous.
mega mart for. It's like a Walmart for booze.
Yeah.
They're kind of big boxes. They're fine. You can find a lot of stuff there for sure if you're shopping around.
Get a good deal.
That's a little kind of like Total Wine or something like that.
I'm not familiar with Total Wine,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll take your word. For it.
They're probably the biggest national liquor big box chain.
What's it called?
Don't know.
Blinkies?
Don't know. Benny's Beverage
Oh,
Depot.
Benny's. Not
Yeah.
Benny's.
Yeah.
Beverage Depot. I like it.
Beverage Depot. John,
Okay.
let
Yeah,
me.
they are famous.
John, if I could ask you a question real quick, just for my own
Yeah.
curiosity.
Please.
You live in the shall we say the Twin Cities area,
Correct.
and you traveled to Rapid City, South Dakota.
I did.
Did you make that as a drive, or did you fly out there?
This time I drove.
Okay. What is that? What kind of hours is that on a drive?
Nine?
Oh,
It's
that's-
about 9,
that's not
depending. It's
terrible. Okay.
600 miles
Right.
each
right,
way.
Right.
It's a long ass drive.
It's a long
takes-
drive, but it's like I feel like that's right on the cutoff point of I'm going to drive or not drive.
Yeah, and I prefer to fly these days. Because
we're getting old.
A flight is like an hour and 10 minutes.
Right.
But this time I I had different reasons, but partially because flights have gotten very expensive. But I also had my dog, and
Right.
there
Sure.
there are reasons you do that. But I do fly some of the time too.
Yep. Okay.
Well, King, you're from South Dakota also. No, wait, you're not. But you've
No,
lived there
yes,
for
I
a
am.
while.
Yes.
You
No,
are from there originally.
Well, I mean, I went to high school in South Dakota. Yes. Yes, sir.
Well, we'll count that.
We'll count it. Yeah, it counts.
Well, where at? Which town?
Brookings, South Dakota,
Oh, of course.
home of
Our-
South Dakota State University. That's where I met Phil. That's where I met Phil.
And that's
That
where
place
Randy
comes up an
Randy
awful
was
lot
from.
around here.
Sure. Well,
It's a hotbed. It's a hotbed.
I ran into somebody from Brookings in the street once. That was kind of a long story, but and I told my wife about it. I said, "You can't throw a dead cat around here without hitting somebody from South Dakota." I don't think she was very
It's
happy.
true.
Well, I think people now King he went a little farther, but I think a lot of people that are somewhat creative. I've mentioned this before, but they either seem to go to Denver or Minneapolis or even farther, I guess.
So,
Let's-
Phil,
some say that.
what are you drinking?
Oh, okay. So I got this thing called Shanky's Whip.
Shakies?
Wow.
No. Shaky's Bunch of Lunch. No,
Shakies malt liquor. Yeah.
Shanky's Whip.
Shanky's whip. That sounds like a
Stanky.
sounds like a prison drink you make in a sock.
Yeah, that's right. Mixed up a batch of it yesterday.
It might be. I'll have to taste it. It's made in Ireland, and it's black, smooth Irish spirits distilled from Whey with natural flavors and caramel color. I just smelled it. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna taste it.
What have you had this before? Why would you choose something like this?
I just like so it's got the name Shanky is whip. That's a good way. I got it for the label. So it's
Okay,
got a little
okay.
guy,
Okay.
a little guy in a cart like a chariot kind of, and it's being pulled by, I think, an ostrich,
Talk
maybe
slower.
an
Talk slower.
maybe an emu, and he's whipping it. Okay, here it goes.
Holy
I'm gonna
cow.
drink it. I'm gonna drink it.
We might have to cut that out.
Yep, like we always do.
Oh, it's a butterscotch thing. I got a very little bottle, thankfully. No offense to the Shanky's fans out there. This maybe
They'll
could
write
grow.
in.
Maybe this could grow on you. I'm gonna try another one. I mean, not a whole bottle, but just another sip. Huh. Okay, that'd probably be good on ice cream.
So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of a butterscotch, I'll say. I'm gonna cleanse my palate and go
So
back
Phil,
to the wild turkey.
is this basically a flavored whiskey?
Oh, I should have done research. I should have guessed you would ask me questions. I don't know. People can email info@shankyswhip.com if they want to know what it is.
Okay.
It's bottled and blended in Ireland.
Uh-huh.
Always one to buck the trend. Buck the trend.
Or
sorry.
buck the trend.
Buck the trend.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very
that-
small
that's-
print.
It's entertaining though, Phil. I'll give you that.
Well, I hope so. Because we got to bring in the
Something's
big
gotta
guns.
be.
We got to bring in the big guns for this episode.
Feel a lot of pressure.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm switching back to Wild Turkey 101.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah.
Oops, I poured a big. Oh well, shit. Okay,
Okay. Good night.
hit my head. Now this.
Oh no.
Now the turkey's gonna hit you.
So you
boy.
I'm gonna get shankied. Let's get shankied tonight, folks. I don't know. They should
Is
do
this,
more ads.
by the way, is this some sort of sponsorship thing you've been offered? You're pushing this pretty hard.
Something you're not telling us.
Little product
No, I-
placement? I mean, come on,
No,
Sherry,
no,
I want to
no.
get my beak wet over here.
Is this an Apple TV Plus program by any chance?
Shanky's Whip. Yeah, it stars Jimmy
Shanky's Whip.
Jimmy Schweigert Jr. and Beatrice
a junior?
Odell. I don't know.
I'm so sorry about this. King.
So which is
Oh
there
no,
more than
please,
one?
please.
Is there more than one high school in Brookings?
I don't. There certainly wasn't when I went there, and I don't believe there is now. My parents still live there, actually, but I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think there's still the one high school. I think they added a middle school and a couple of grade schools.
It's grown a lot
It has grown
since
a
we
lot,
were
yes,
since we
for
were there.
sure.
It's great. I've seen pictures. I haven't been there really since I left. There's
Yeah,
no
no,
looking back for me.
I respect it. I respect it. Yeah, no, my
So,
parents live there, so I'm there twice or three times a year.
speaking of parents, how does your dad feel about being featured? His photograph, his likeness being the. Well, maybe I'm spoiling this, and I shouldn't have even said
No,
this.
please,
But
please.
but your dad's. So he was in radio, and you used his picture
That's true.
for Wally McCarthy. McCarthy.
That's true.
McCartney.
I was
McCartney.
I was fairly concerned that he might because he's what's the word? I don't want to say prepper exactly, but he's kind of a
he's prepared.
he's a like cybersecurity very cautious kind of guy. So I was a little nervous to show him that, but he thought it was fine. He thought it was fine. He loves it.
It's an older picture. So what?
Oh, for sure.
So what?
Yeah.
What did he do again? He was in radio. Was he like a DJ or a sports guy or a weatherman?
He was a small town radio DJ when I was
So he
a
did
little
all of
kid.
it.
I mean, at that time, you're probably writing some news stories and spinning, middle of the road kind of records. I'd imagine in a town of 5,000.
Yeah.
You're probably there's probably like 5 people that work there or something. So
Jack of all trades.
probably so. I would say.
So
that's true.
I'm just a little bit of, and I have not seen all of your press appearances or heard them yet. So forgive me if
Wow.
I'm covering familiar ground. What kind of got you? What inspired you to do the sleep baseball program?
Well, I like listening to baseball games that I don't care about late at night if they're on the West Coast to fall asleep to. But the last couple of years in particular, they've become they're quite noisy. They've become very noisy. So I think I started thinking about, I wish there was just some baseball game where there wasn't somebody yelling about a big monster truck thing or whatever.
That comes in the next season, right?
And that's when I thought about what kind of a sleepy ad would I have. That's when I thought of Phil and sent him that email was like 4 years ago or something, by the way.
Yeah, we talked about working together for a while, but
That's true. But I mean, even after you sent me the thing and I realized it was perfect and just the catalyst I needed, I still waited like another 13 months to actually do the thing. That's how I roll. That's how I like to roll.
well, I wasn't pressuring either.
Well,
Hey, King, come on. Let's get going.
hey.
So there seems to be a lot of, again, obviously upper Midwest flavor and everything like that. Like for example, of course, Wally McCarthy, name
Yeah.
of a bunch of car dealerships here.
That's right.
And sometimes it almost feels like there's a Prairie Home Companion flavor, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of very, very cliched small town Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin flavor in there. So
Absolutely.
that's
true.
fun.
Well,
I have
I would say with a special, unique bent.
Well, hopefully
Or,
so. But
Well, it's also vague enough that you don't. It doesn't really matter if you know much about it.
I think that's true. I think that is true. I hope that's true. But yeah, no, I love the I love that part of the country. That whole band.
I
The
think
North
you get up
Woods.
to
The North
UP
Woods.
once a year or something, don't you? It seems like go camping up there or something.
Northern Michigan for sure. I go there. I've been going there every year for many years. It's great up
Yeah,
there.
speaking of preppers, yeah.
There are some, you got some militia guys up there. They're fine.
It's the highest,
they're just having fun trying to kidnap the governor. I mean, come on.
right.
Simple,
That's
simple,
hijinks.
harmless hijinks.
oh, we weren't really gonna kidnap her.
I
We
mean,
were
that's
just
it's like
I don't know.
lighting a cherry bomb behind the teen center.
That's right.
It's fine.
Good, clean fun. Yeah. Yeah, that's we used to drive up to Mackinac Island once a year
Yes.
from here, and
for a gig, a big band.
Yeah, I
John's,
used to have a
John's in
gig
big
on-
band.
Oh, nice.
Grand Hotel.
Nice.
Which was about we went 9 years. We did that one, and the drive was, I mean, some pretty scenery and all that, but you go on those highways past all the property entrances, and the political signs really do have a trend.
Yes, that is true.
You just kind of like nod and okay, moving on.
My memory of that drive is a lot of blood on the highway from various accidents or cars hitting
Lots of
deer,
roadkill. Yeah.
roadkill. Yeah, just I don't know. In my mind, I envision it just the entire drive was a highway of blood and endless garage sales. It seemed like there were a lot of houses I got the impression that every weekend or maybe all week they had like a garage sale, and they probably went next door. Hey, I like this. I'm gonna buy it for 5 cents. I'm gonna mark it up to 10 cents. And I think there's a little bit of a
And they probably sold pasties with
Yes.
Right.
everything too.
yeah, which I thought was pasties at first, but I was a little confused.
I've
Phil,
just
have you ever
never
thought about working for the Michigan Tourism Board?
Highway of Blood? That's the new ad campaign.
Highway of blood and a crappy garage sale on every mile.
with a
It's written into our Constitution.
with a tasteless pasty.
Oh, the pasties are the best thing.
They're not very good.
No?
I don't think they're very good. They were
they're
disappointing
donuts.
to me.
They're like they're a weird donut. Yes, I agree. They're,
I just found
It's a meat pie.
they had almost the ones I tried, which were at local places, were just kind of doughy, flavorless.
Oh, I see.
oh wait, that's the meat pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't speak to those. I'm thinking of a totally different thing.
I wonder what you're thinking of. It's like a donut?
Don't.
Sounds a lot better.
This is a no. It's like a Polish Chicago thing, and I'm gonna get.
Uh-oh.
I can't. If I can't speak to this, and if I say that this isn't a good thing, it's gonna be terrible. But
No,
I forget what it's
we'll
called.
lose all our
It's a
listeners.
donut, but basically, everybody loses their mind once a year on Pulaski Day, and then here comes hey, it's a donut. It's a jelly donut,
Hey,
which drives people
mister,
insane.
that's a donut?
That still sounds better. Yeah, Mr. Donut probably had them.
No. Just once a year.
It's like the McRib. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy,
which are back again.
Yeah.
after
those
they-
are terrible, absolutely terrible.
which
John and
they-
I we haven't for when we worked together. We'd go to the McDonald's when they first come out, and then we'd say, "Oh, hey, the McRib's back," and then we're like, "Oh, why did I eat this?" Every year, you'd forget
Yeah,
about
they're the
9 months
same.
into it or something.
I once, I think the statute of limitations on the non-disclosure agreement have expired, so I can talk a little bit freely about this. But I once had a job where I was the videographer on a how to make a McRib meal that the kids working in the restaurants would watch.
Oh no!
And so I saw, I saw behind the curtain, and I didn't like what I saw at all.
So, but
That's
they
all
didn't
I'll
show
say.
you how they made it, like in the factory part. It's just what they were assembling it at the end.
No, I didn't see a McRib factory. I did see a chicken factory.
Ooh.
Once.
Well, the McNugget is pretty disgusting the way those are made. Yeah.
I will say the McNugget is it's fine. It's a scrap piece of tender.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking them actually as a food so much.
Right. No, I mean I'm not saying they're good, but the online memes you see of the like pink paste. That's I believe that's debunked.
Yeah, and they
That's too
have
bad.
this weird.
It is too bad.
The coating on them is kind of unique.
That's
I don't know what it is.
one word for it.
The
yeah.
breading? The breading?
Well, I don't know if I'd even call it a breading.
I feel
wonder
like
what
you're
it
getting
is.
just a little sliver of chicken meat and then like mostly some amorphous flour breadings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have
Pasty.
something that's different from anybody else's.
I'm guessing it's also encrusted in salt.
Probably so.
Well,
Like-
of course.
It's dipped in salt or something, and then in the ocean.
I'm getting a little peckish over here.
I want some of those. Now the fries are good. You have to admit, McDonald's they do good fries.
I feel like if you get it done right, about half of the stuff on their menu is actually totally passable.
I like the
And-
breakfast stuff.
If it's done right, it's can be very good. If it's done
Well,
wrong, it's absolutely terrible.
No, then it gets sad. Yeah. Every now and then you get an egg McMuffin, and you're like, "What happened?"
Right.
You know, something went really wrong. So that was 4 years ago. You had this idea for the sleep baseball. About how did it sort of
Let's see.
evolved? I think in your mind, it wasn't
It
just
did
like
evolve, right.
you woke up at 3 a.m. and couldn't get to sleep. And by gum, I'm going to do a fake baseball show.
Well-
I'm ringing up my friend Phil from the old country.
It probably wasn't terribly different than that, but yeah. No, originally it was like going to be a variety of some sort of variety public radio parody thing that was really boring.
Oh, yeah,
And
that has some potential
and baseball was going to be a part of it, and then I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
Well,
But thank you. You are the wind beneath my wings, Phil.
in the windy city.
Producer Phil.
Well, it's fun. I haven't done this many acts for a while, but like I say, King created the world, and I get to help populate it. That doesn't
That's
mean
true.
that he and I are having children.
Oh,
I guess they're kind of like our children.
that's nice. Yes, that's true. Thank you.
Every episode is special.
That's right.
All the characters that I do are older than me, so that's weird. I have older
Yes.
children.
Mm.
That's fine. Not all of them, maybe. I don't know how old the new mayor is.
The new
He's about
mayor
my age.
sounds, yeah, he's probably about,
Like Mayor McCheese. Sorry.
I can't remember what he
back on
sounded
that
like.
I don't know.
Hi, I'm Mayor McCheese. No,
I have no memory. Interesting. What
The burglar,
what a poor,
or the Hamburglar.
poor character development with this Mayor McCheese.
Yeah,
None of us
feel
can
like
remember
that-
what he sounds like. Come on.
that's ripe for a reboot, I think.
no. See, I was going to try to do his voice, but I think I'm actually confusing it with there was an old professor character, like a crazy professor guy.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. There was. That's true.
Hi. Let's see. Then there was that gets me onto one thing. Sometimes I'll send King some commercial ideas, and he won't use them all. That's fine. I
Oh
did try
boy,
to do.
here we go. Here comes the airing of the dirty laundry segment of our show.
We're going to the
Insert
laundromat.
theme song here, please.
It's $3 a load, buddy.
Little beef. Here comes the beef.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I did.
boy.
I was
Sorry.
trying to do a monster truck one. I think I'm gonna try again, but because I was trying to do like a really relaxed. I don't think I got it quite right. So he's probably good that he did use it. But this other one I've tried a couple different times, like an old lady voice. Yeah, like Grandma B's House of Z's, and he's frightened by the voice. It frightens him, John.
It's
It's like the head housekeeper voice from our old tapes?
It is similar to
Yeah,
that.
you do have some types.
it's the stuff of nightmares, and it gives me the creeps when I'm wide awake at 9 a.m. And I that could be me. That could be me.
Hello, Mr. King.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's totally the
I'll
hell
send-
housekeeper.
I'll send you a little Halloween tape every year.
No, save that for sleep baseball after hours or
Oh,
after
yeah.
dark.
We gotta figure out what the patrons get. Now it says Patreon.
Yeah, that's
But
the name of the service, I believe.
but you're getting patrons on your Patreon. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is
I
that
think
it?
that's true. I think that's true. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, we just started one for this. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Hey,
Yeah,
give us
well,
the let's hear that web address.
After 8 years, we don't have a web address. Just go on the Facebook.
Patreon.com/time to
Time to
lean.
lean, and here's a song.
And here's a song.
That'll
You
work.
have to type
probably.
all of that out, though. That's a drag.
It doesn't it autofill? Because we're
Yeah,
probably
Google ranks us pretty high up there. Right now.
yeah. Well, after 9 seasons, we thought we'd get a little get in on this Patreon thing. I'm sure it'll be really good for us.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or we do a telethon, right?
ooh,
I-
that's
see,
a great idea.
I was a big fan of the telethons, Jerry Lewis, and I'd watch as many. I'd watch it as long as I could, because something about the idea about this show going on all night was rather fascinating. And I remember one year I recorded like 6 hours after I couldn't take it anymore, and I couldn't watch it. I don't know. It just was it was terrible. I guess maybe I was growing out of the phase, but I don't know if I think you have to be there in the moment. It's live, and you try to watch it the next morning. It's just so I was watching. So in my defense, I was watching Jerry Lewis when he was at 3 a.m, but I was watching it like at 10 a.m.
Right,
there's
and
a
he
dis-
looked
there-
he looked like 1,000 miles of bad road. I love that was my favorite part of those telethons. Jerry Lewis at the end of his rope, like smoking a cigarette with his tuxedo like half off.
Yeah, he'd be like half undressed. I don't know if this is true at that time, but he never wore the same pair of socks twice.
That's true.
So there. It's a little Jerry Lewis trivia for the people.
That's
folks.
because when he was a kid, he had to re-wear his socks many times because of a poverty situation. And then when he became, of means, he was like, "Yeah, I'm never wearing the same pair of socks twice." And I had a college professor who interviewed him in his luxury suite in Chicago many years ago. And he said on his way out, he looked in the little garbage can, 2 pairs of socks
Wow.
in the garbage can. That's probably from like the same day. That's baller.
Did your friend get to see what's the name of that movie? The
Sort of unreleased.
the day
The
the
day-
clown
The
cried
day
or
the
whatever.
clown cried. No, I don't. Well, if anybody on Earth other than the people who have claimed to have seen it, it would be him. But I don't think he has. No.
Okay.
To deal with
Someday,
that,
if we
could
all
be-
live long enough, we'll get to see it.
Oh, it's
No,
going to happen. It's going to happen.
He
Well,
said
I think there's a contract, right? that
it couldn't be
after so many
released for
years-
30 years after his death or something like that, or 30 years after. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was 30 after his death, but it was
No.
a number of years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So Jerry Lewis had some kind of incomplete copy that he gave to the Library of Congress, but he said they couldn't be screened before 2024. It's not a full copy, though, and there may not even be a complete negative of the movie. So now back to the show. I just thought that was important enough to interrupt. But in hindsight, it probably wasn't.
Well,
He wanted to make sure it was after he died.
it's interesting that it is not leaked.
Yes, there's little. You can find little pieces, but
Yeah.
I've never found the whole thing. Harry Shearer has apparently seen the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, somebody once snuck out a copy on like a 3/4-inch video cassette, and just for like a weekend, and had a very
Got to
small
watch
viewing
it.
that involved Harry Shearer and about 4 other people.
Wow.
I don't know,
And they lived,
and they're
Tell the
still
tale.
they're still with us.
so it must not be that bad. What was his deal
No,
with
I
it?
think it's bad, but yeah.
What was his deal with it? It just he thought it was terrible, or he just thought it. I can't remember. It just I mean, the subject matter is so dark.
Right.
Well, I think he was self-aware enough to figure out that maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
But see, now it's fine because we've been through some dark times.
Maybe
And,
maybe he was thinking of that. Like the world's not ready for this now, but in 50 years they will be.
And he was kind of prophetic.
Mm.
He predicted Trump and the pandemic and the people drinking bleach. And he thought, people drink enough bleach, this movie will be fine.
That's
I
true.
like your. This is how conspiracy theories are born. I like it.
And, we'll watch it and we're like, this is like one of The Simpsons. What's the deal? It's a different clown.
So back to our Patreon page, which I just saw today for the first time, I think.
Oh, I just threw it up there. I just threw
You
it
threw
up
it
there
up.
last night. It looks like it.
Now
I don't know what I'm doing.
if I recall correctly, without surfing the web while I record, it's quite rude. I recall there were it's a subscription or a sustaining member is our public radio people call it.
Yeah. You can do $5 a month or $10 a month.
Do we not offer a one-time leave a tip kind of thing?
I did not see that option, but Mr. King knows more about. Again,
I always thought it was more like, and then they can kind of give as they.
Well, I mean, if somebody. So for our fans that don't want to do it for once a month, they can just cancel after a month.
That's always true, and I personally.
Why did I tell them that?
They never tell them that, and I'm one of these people that gets kind of grumpy about subscriptions for everything.
Well, yeah.
And
How do you do the tip jar, King? You have a tip jar on your website.
I do have a tip jar
there must
through
be
it's a site called Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh yes,
And you just set up. They give you the link, and then it's through a Stripe account. They take a cut, whatever. But it's just
yeah.
That's a nice option for sure.
I think we'll have to look into that. I if people want to give us money every month, I'm not going to stop them. But
Buy me a whiskey
personally,
is what we should have.
buy me a, as Ralphie says, buy me a wee dram.
Ah, Ralphie. Do you know Ralphie, Mr. King?
I don't think I know Ralphie.
He's another YouTuber, like Mr. King is.
Okay.
He is a Scotch whiskey YouTube reviewer and general curmudgeon, I would say.
He lives
Ralphie.
in a cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Scottish
it's
guy.
IE, isn't it? Or is it EY
No,
or
it's
Y?
RALFY.
Oh, God.
Y.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's not. That's like sometimes people screw up my name, PHLP. Wow.
Yeah, he is. I don't know if he has a weird. Maybe in the UK, that's how people pronounce Ralphie or spell it. Hello,
It has a
I'm out of whiskey.
OUR. Ralphie or
It has to have OUR in it, right? They like to use extra vowels.
Dude,
So more to come on that.
I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'm old. Sorry, my bladder with the Coors.
Oh, and I'm going to refill my beverage
Okay,
too.
let's
So
take-
let's leave
let's
it
take two.
rolling.
Leaving it rolling. Still rolling.
Aye, sir.
Bye bye.
Who the hell was that?
yeah, I'll get some more ice. Take a break. Break it down. Taking a break. Break it down.
All right.
Ah.
Okay.
Ah.
You know what? So here's the deal. So I have my I have this audio setup that's actually like pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got a good mic. I got a compressor, a mic preamp, all this stuff. I have it set up for barely whispering into a micro, like just barely projecting. And I feel like I'm just like blowing out this whole recording.
Well,
I've
you're
turned
the
it down. I've
guest.
turned myself down a little bit, but
You're the guest. You should be the host.
mother of God. I mean, it's striking. It's a little
Now,
striking.
one time I thought I was doing something like that, but then I had my headphones volume turned up louder. But you would know. You would
Okay.
know to check
No,
that.
that happens. That will happen.
We're all back.
All right.
And we're
To add one more thing to the little tip jar or whatever Patreon thing we had settled on.
Well, you're not a fan of tipping.
No, well, don't call it a tip. I'm not a fan of restaurant tipping
Oh, okay.
as a thing. The one
doesn't.
main reason why we have thought about doing this is because we're greedy. But besides that, we do have some nominal expenses to distribute the podcast.
Yeah. We
Sure.
go as cheap as possible, but
I look so hard and try and be as cheap as possible, but maintain the high quality that
people
you know us
expect.
to have.
sure, very high
That's
quality.
But
So there,
there's no free lean.
free to lean.
That's not good.
Time to feel. Heck, let's do that. Time to
Oh,
feel.
no.
We're gonna have a real touchy-feely episode tonight. Mr. King is gonna talk about his feelings. So what? Why don't you talk about? I'm guessing there's some of our listeners that haven't, even though I talk about it all the time, that haven't listened to the Sleep Baseball yet. But why don't you talk a little bit about what it is and some of the hijinks that ensue?
Well, it's a fake baseball broadcast network system. Maybe? Does that sound okay? Yeah.
WSLP.
WSLP. So it's a radio station. It's an announcer. There's producer Phil. There's a couple of recurring characters, some of which were made and created by our own producer Phil. And it's very, after the first 10 minutes, it's very repetitive and droning and made for people to either sleep or kind of zone out to. I've heard some people like it, with really boring tasks they have to do, like to listen to it, like monkeying around with a spreadsheet or something. That's just kind of, I don't know.
Or
That's
spreading
it.
the
That's all.
monkeys. Spreading the monkeys.
Spreading the monkeys. Hey. Whoa.
Don't listen to our show while doing that. We don't approve of that. ASPCA. No, you can do whatever you want.
The thing
Otherwise-
that's kind of remarkable about your work is how it is actually a game. Like it's
Right.
plotted out everything. If you didn't know better, you would say that it actually was a game, right?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully. That's ideally, yes. Yes.
Well, one of
But
my
so
brothers,
yeah.
one of my brothers asked, does he? Because there's evidently these simulations or something, and that you just put in some kind of data, and it gives you it spews out probably some AI, but like all the results of the game or something like that. And I was like, no, King actually writes the whole thing.
I will say,
Yeah, that's okay.
a little peek behind the curtain. No, I do write the scripts, but the games so far, all of them have been based on,
Yeah.
well, loosely based on, I'll watch an actual older, not that old, but an older baseball game
About to go up.
and just substitute in my players and everything. And so I feel like that part of it to me is relaxing. I find that to be the least tedious part of this whole process.
Oh, some Asian would be cool, I guess.
Well, the other thing that I
don't know. I
don't,
can check with you
I
when
mean,
I'm
on the technical end is
Cool.
you're really into
Probably half
trying to
hour.
get it just right into I don't know what the term is. Let's say bandwidth, but
Okay.
you don't want to get too high, the peaks too much or anything like that. I don't know. You would explain it a little better, but because it's supposed to be relaxing.
I want to apologize for the technical difficulties on that past little bit there. Sometimes John records in his kitchen and maybe records another podcast at the same time called What's for Dinner.
Right.
But do you have some kind of like setting? It's like, oh, I can't go past. We don't need to get this technical.
I mean, so it's we'll just get a tiny bit technical. It's very much I want it to sound as compressed as an AM radio on a little non-hi-fi system. You know what I mean?
And that's something I was struck by right away, and how, again, authentic it sounded like that, or maybe even played through an old console AM radio.
Right.
One of those big wooden cabinet ones that has no high range and kind of a...
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very soothing and it's like that. And the background sound is really effective, I think.
Okay. Well, that's very kind. That's very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, the
well,
ambiance even.
Yeah, because you can hear it's like a game is going on, but it's not like if you go to well, maybe some baseball games are that boring, but or quiet. But you know, you can hear the actions going on. But I guess I just kind of envision it when I'm listening to it. I feel kind of like, well, that's because I'm producer Phil, right? But I feel like I'm in the little booth.
Right.
That's the way That's the way
Yeah.
it sounds like to me. It's like I'm in the booth with
Wally McCarthy.
It reminds me, or I was reminded of it actually recently when. So my wife is from a little town in middle of South Dakota, and there. And her mom, who taught high school and all that there for many years, is retired, and she likes to watch their football and other sports when they're on TV.
Yeah.
When I say TV, I mean really like YouTube or something like that.
Oh.
It's little town stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And this high school recently made some playoffs, and they were out of town, and the locals wanted to watch the game. And there's this service that live streams all these high school sports activities all over the place. You pay a subscription, you can just tune into them.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That
actually.
is like a pedophile's dream. You heard it here first. No, okay.
And
Not
It's-
gymnastics.
Sorry. We'll cut that out.
of course,
Yeah, well,
it's not quite what it really was in this case. And I watched a little bit of it while they were all paying attention. It has almost no production value. There's nobody actually announcing it. It's just a camera in the stadium that's showing a wide shot of the field.
Oh wow, really? So it's just like a
Yeah.
GoPro. There's
It's
no
almost like that, and you can hear, but you can hear in the background vaguely the in-house announcer
okay.
calling the game.
oh, sure.
and just the people in the stands. There's kind of this general racket from them, but it's distant. So,
Oh,
and
that's kind of cool.
it reminded me a little bit of that, except not as good.
Do they have that for? Do they have baseball games on this weird?
Oh, I think they had a ton. Yeah.
Okay.
I can send you the link. It's a subscription service.
Oh
that
man,
you can tune into all sorts of stuff all over the country, I think.
to watch a couple of really bad like kids baseball team, like a high school baseball teams in middle of nowhere, just beating the tar out of each other. That sounds relaxing to me.
That would
Yeah,
be pretty
yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
I don't know if it'd be relaxing. Well, did they have ads?
Right?
I didn't. No, I don't. There were no ads. It just kind of the camera turned
All
on
right.
at some point. And,
Producer
Oh,
Phil.
sure.
Producer Phil, we got to hop on this. We'll take one of those AI robots. We'll have it. We'll feed in my voice. We'll feed in your voice. There'll be local commercials read by producer Phil. Wally McCarthy will call the action. Oh my God, it's a gold mine.
Yeah,
it's a freaking
I think we
gold
need like
mine.
a Go drone or something like this drone that hovers.
Okay.
What made you think of Wally McCarthy? I mean, it's a great name, but to use that name for the show.
I've always thought that was a great name, and it's just I grew up like when I was a kid, the big city we went to was Minneapolis, and I would hear
Yeah.
and my parents always listened to WCCO, and it was endless Wally McCarthy stuff.
Yeah,
It's a great name.
He was still big when I moved here, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, I laughed immediately I'll say I gave a good chuckle when I heard
Yeah.
that.
I just thought
was
that
like,
cannot
oh.
be a coincidence.
Well, I've heard sometimes when he's being interviewed, King is being interviewed on other things about the show, and they'll ask about that. They have no idea who Wally McCarthy is, so I don't know. It's just kind of funny. You don't need to know.
Right.
No,
like
that's
that-
why it's a good sounding name.
Absolutely.
Well, and one of the ad guys is Ed Uncle Hat, who does. So that character came out of. We have a narrator on here, on Time to Lean, and here's a song, Ed, and it was just always Ed. And maybe I shouldn't say
And
this.
Phil, I'm pretty sure you used that name because of
yeah,
the Ed from the tapes. Okay.
yeah. We had we were looking for a sound effect or something, because we did tapes in high school instead of sports for various reasons.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we were trying to. So we had two mics and a reel to reel, and so that was kind of a big deal. But we wanted this kind of panning sound or something, so we went to John's cellar or something and found an old dryer tube, and we named it Ed because it looked kind of like an elephant dick. So ED. I think that was before Bob Dole did the ED med ads.
Yeah. It was before.
It was way before that.
AD, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where Ed came from. Now maybe I shouldn't be saying this because I'm spoiling it for all of our listeners. Because you don't really want it. Because as an artist, I don't really want people to know. I want them to be able to come up with their own.
That our
names.
narrator is a piece of dryer tubing.
Inspired by.
Yeah. Wow.
So then when King asked me to do ads or something, and I thought of Ed, of course, and but I thought he needed a name, a last name, so that's where I don't know where Ed Uncle Hat came from, but
It's a very strange name. I mean, Uncle Hat is a strange.
it's not hyphenated.
Yeah, I can never figure out, is it Ed and then in quotes Uncle Hat? Is his name Ed Hat and he's an uncle? I don't know.
It's whatever. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna. It's whatever the audience wants to think. I'll leave that alone.
I've gotten more than a few emails asking me about Ed Uncle Hat. Mostly,
Like
most
what?
of
Like
them, most of them saying, what's the guy's name? Is it Ed Uncle Hat? And I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Is he
At least
married?
At least it's not Mark Free Mark Pork.
Oh, that was one of my other. Yeah, that was probably my
Mark Free Mark.
that was my penultimate wonderful name. He hasn't showed up in the. I think
I don't
that's
think
a little too
he
surreal.
ever existed outside of just being a funny name, though.
Well, I did end up writing a script called Entropia 2.0 that we never did, but Mark Free Mark Pork is the main character in that one. That was
That
kind
sounds
of
like Entropia sounds like a failed Coca-Cola Company beverage of some kind.
Mountain Dew
like
Entropia Blaster. Sure.
Right.
or like a new Zima.
Yeah,
No.
of course.
Wow.
Entropia.
Yeah, that could be a premium malt beverage.
Good
they
Lord.
say.
Yeah, we need an Ed Uncle Hat beer. No, maybe not. What would he sell? I mean, I know what he sells on the show, but what does he drink?
Probably a lager. Some kind of real
Strained
easy,
through Jerry Lewis's socks.
easy sipping.
There you go.
We're back to the Sox again.
I'm sorry.
Speaking
Jerry
of-
Lewis always wins.
How about those Red Sox this year? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. What kind of sports? So I'm guessing you watch. I don't know, those Cubs or something. Or no. There's probably there's other teams too there, right? What do you like on baseball? What's your favorite baseball teams? The
I
Brookings Wildcats.
well, I'm certainly I'm a default Cubs fan because of Pat Hughes, sort of the Cubs radio guy. Kind of got me back into the world of baseball when I was like in my late 20s. I don't really, I don't, I'm not a sports guy. I like baseball, but that's about it. And I'm not insane about it anymore. I kind of, I pay attention vaguely and I like to
Yeah.
listen to games, but I'm not, I don't live and die by whatever's happening in the sports world.
Wrestling? You like those guys,
Wrestling? Nah,
those
not so
sweaty
much.
guys?
Not, it's not my flavor. It's not for me.
I remember skipping Sunday school or saying I was sick to watch the golden age of wrestling.
Mm.
That was probably before WWE, of course.
All right. Real quickly, Phil, I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mean Gene Okerlund?
Okerlund. Yeah.
Right. Did you
Oh, he's
know
a
that?
Minnesota guy.
Well,
isn't he?
he was born in Brookings, South Dakota,
Oh.
moved to Sisseton as a young man. In Sisseton, South Dakota, started a rock band in high school, had a regional hit, and is now in the South Dakota Music Hall of Fame. Thank you.
What's the name of the song?
I don't recall.
Well, probably, Do You Remember? Gene Carroll in the Shades. Yeah. Do you remember? I didn't remember. And neither did John and Phil or Mr. King.
Wow.
It's on his Wikipedia page. I don't know how I stumbled across this, but it blew my mind.
Well, I didn't know any of that.
Mm.
I mean, I remember Mean Gene, yeah.
Sure.
Interviewing the guys.
He was on top of the world.
My youngest daughter took guitar lessons for a while, and her guitar teacher actually is in the South Dakota Music Hall of Fame too. And the narrator can say what it was, but I don't remember the band. But some kind of East River band. They were kind of big. They did that touring that area. I don't know. I don't know.
Was
if
it
they ever-
perhaps the Red Willow Band?
No, I think it was.
Was it perhaps Williams and Ree?
Oh no.
Okay, that's all I've got. That's all I've got.
Remember when they did that cooking show with Florence Henderson or something on the what was that? There's some country music channel video. Like it was like
right,
the country
CMT. They had like a comedy show on CMT in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe.
Did I make up the part where they were cooking? Maybe that she was just a guest and they were cooking with
They
Florence
probably did
Henderson.
a cooking thing. I remember Hassler used to tape those, and we would watch them in sort of a kind of hilarious horror.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was often funny and just baffling.
Hassler was a friend of ours in common that we
Yes, sorry.
we met each other through. Jesse.
So it was kind of like Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. Like
no.
No, I think that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
The Indian and the white guy and Florence Henderson.
That's right.
She'd sing a song, and they all had like this king size bed, and that's how they ended the show. They'd pull out the covers and say good night. It was kind of weird. I think they had some kind of threesome thing. Yeah,
Hey,
Jesse.
there,
Great show. Yeah.
Jesse, what were those tapes he'd made? He'd do weird edits of things, and what they call them, the master tapes or something like that.
There's one in particular. This is back in the day of the 6-hour. If you recorded on the low quality setting, 6-hour VHS cassette.
Yeah.
He had one that he had worked on for, which this is a very weird art form, but he would basically intuitively like hit record and then start changing. For some reason, his TV, you could change the channels and it would record wherever you landed on. And he had a 6-hour thing we called the master tape that all of my friends had copies of. It was like the most psychedelic 6-hour. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but
No, yeah, because I remember watching. Well, not the whole 6 hours. I probably never did, but I remember watching. And you'd kind of get in an altered state. I mean, I wasn't drinking whiskey or smoking anything, I mean, I probably had a beverage, but
I
don't.
feel like I remember almost half of that just like from memory. And I think our one of our friends has recently found a copy,
Oh Lord,
and I'm
the
I'm
master
waiting
tape.
to put that. Oh man, to get that on the on the computer.
Put
Get
that on
that
YouTube.
get that in the
So
cloud.
it's a little bit like I read a thing recently about this. So there's this director named Joe Dante. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah,
And
Dante's Inferno.
yep, he's pretty old now, but still working.
Joe.
Joe Dante, he directed Gremlins of all
Oh,
Right.
things. Yeah,
sure.
a lot of other things, but he apparently at some point in his life made this super long pieced together thing called the movie orgy, where he just got clips of mostly like old Roger Corman movies and weird stuff like that, and edited it together really creatively, like tiny bits. And he would
Oh,
travel around and show it, exhibit it to people.
wow.
I mean, yeah, apparently
I
it's
guess
quite
No kidding.
film
Jesse
nerd
kind of
thing.
did
Yeah, I'll
that.
have
I
to
mean, he didn't
send you
travel
guys
around, but
yeah.
he'd bring the tape in a station wagon and show it. Did he ever show that
Yeah.
like at like some event? I don't think he did. Like because
No.
I seem to remember back then SDSU was like the student activities office. They probably would have showed that.
It was mostly. It was just. I remember it as a very weird inside joke kind of thing that we would watch like constantly, and then probably a half dozen of us made copies of it, and as we moved out into the world, would still like put it in. It's a
Aw.
it's a very strange and comforting document, and I hope to see it again very soon.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
better preserve it. Yeah.
digitize it.
Yeah.
Well, so years after that, when I moved to the big city here, I was at First Avenue, and somebody was doing. They probably stole Jesse's idea, but it was like before the show started, they'd have. It was like this was early '90s First Avenue, and they'd have like weird edited. It wasn't as good as Jesse's, but it just kind of made me nostalgic for it, I guess, a little bit. But
Mm.
well, he did other art forms. He was a incredible illustrator and just
Yes.
all around creative, funny guy, funniest guy
Yeah.
in the world.
One of the biggest influences just on me in general.
God
For
rest
sure.
his soul.
For sure.
Or somebody
Yep.
rest his
R.I.P..
soul.
R.I.P.
Yeah. That was that was in November. How many years ago was
I
that?
think that was in December. That was about
December?
13 years ago, I think, almost. I think
Was
that
it really?
might have been 2010. We might be coming up on 13.
Lucky 13. It's
No, it
time
might
to bring out
even
the
been
master
before
tape.
that. Ooh.
I don't know. Time is weird.
Yes, time is super weird.
Super weird.
Ah.
Ah.
Well, that ground to a screeching halt with our
It's terrible.
morbid
Speaking of
meditation
Speaking
on
of
death.
time, he was a good guy.
That's true.
Here's
Phil,
to
are
you,
we
Jesse.
are we going to do a holiday special this year?
I don't know. December is
Yeah.
very busy.
This might be it.
This is our holiday special. Well, so that
If they're
reminds me
lucky.
because that year, yeah. So that year, my mom passed away. I'm gonna get really. We won't end on this. My mom died right before Thanksgiving that same year that Jesse died right before Christmas, I guess.
Oh man.
So this is our holiday special.
Oh boy.
How did
there.
we get here?
I'm going to be 55 pretty soon. Did you just turn 55, John?
Yes, I
You have a
did.
November birthday, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you, Phil. Come on
Five
over.
5.5.
That's it.
King
55 and is still alive.
King's age is undetermined.
Yes.
He's got a lot of mystery. Nobody knows his real name, and nobody knows how old he is. Not even
Hey,
his wife.
as a side note, I am, let's say I'm older than 49.
Yeah.
If you ever want to have a good time and feel better about yourself, there's a long form Mike Royko interview from maybe the late 80s. You're looking at
Yeah?
this guy and you're like, holy cow, that guy's like 80 years old. And then at some point in the interview, he talks about his softball playing. And he's like, well, I'm not yet 50. First time I saw that, I was probably like in my late, I was like, what? You look at that. I mean, it's incredible. Of course,
Well-
he drank beer from and smoked a pack of cigarettes every day from the age of 4, but whatever. It's fine.
Not
now
yet
that-
50.
That reminds me, the true age of so let's say Carol O'Connor and the lady whose name I can't remember offhand.
Oh, Gene Stapleton?
Thank you.
Yes.
They were actually a lot younger than the characters they played.
Right.
So there.
Yes.
So it's that kind of thing.
Yes.
Good actors.
Good actors.
Because there is a picture going around of Gene Stapleton with Alice Cooper, and she's wearing kind of a bustier thing.
Whoa.
I've seen
hey,
that one.
Holy cow.
And there's like, yeah. And I was like,
Man, you are looking at a better internet than I am. Holy crap.
yeah, if you want to compare that with what you just talked about, I don't know. We'll go Google that. There's Gene Stapleton and a bustier. No, or with Alice Cooper or something.
I will be doing that as soon as we end our call.
I'm doing it right now.
No, I won't do it now. Out of respect. I won't do it now. Out of respect.
Sexy Gene
Respect.
Stapleton. She's way sexier than Gene Simmons. Although he probably had more sex.
Well, most certainly. Most certainly.
Do you remember? I think it was a really old Oprah Winfrey show, and maybe there was a clip of it on the master tape. But I don't know. I don't think so. But when she was just in Chicago doing that show,
Sure.
and I think she had Gene Simmons and Willie Nelson on,
Yes.
and they were talking about how many women they had sex with.
That's true.
That was before Wilt, the Stilt Chamberlain or whatever. But didn't he break that record? No, that was somebody else maybe.
You know, I don't
know.
I don't keep track of those records, Phil, because I'm not a pervert. Thank you.
I just like keeping track of fake baseball records.
Exactly right. Come on, I got my hands full.
But that's kind of a perversion too, King.
You know,
In its
that's
own
the
way.
that's the same interview where Willie Nelson, I think, first admitted that he smoked a joint on the top of the White House
Oh,
during the Carter presidency.
the Carter. Yeah. Speaking of which, Carter's still kicking.
That's right.
His wife passed away.
just passed. Yeah.
He made it to Rosalind's memorial service.
Did you see his blanket?
No.
Didn't see his blanket.
No, it was some kind of memorial blanket.
Hey, not to bring the room down, but Henry Kissinger is still alive.
Is he still
Yeah.
alive?
Well, how was that?
Yeah, he's 100 years old. He's literally 100 years old.
Yeah.
Still
How
living.
is he still alive?
There's
He's
no rhyme or reason.
He's undead. Yeah.
So this episode was recorded on the same night that Henry Kissinger died, but the fellas didn't know that at the time and found out after they got done recording. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. Happy New Year.
He should have a TV
Must
show.
be it. He's had enough.
Well,
Exactly right. He had a good for him run. God bless.
Well, Warren Buffett's number 2 in command just died recently at 99.
Munger? Charlie Munger's dead?
He never retired, I guess. He had just been
No.
working for Warren Buffett all these years. 99 years, I think it was. What did we get on this death thing? I blame Jesse.
Yeah.
It's Jesse's revenge. Thanks, fucker.
Well, this is a good. I think we've had a good holiday special here.
yeah.
Really, reflect on.
Be thankful for what you have.
They say,
That's exactly
yes,
right.
we're alive.
That's right.
Yeah.
Life is short, people. Get out there, enjoy the holidays safely and soundly, and come back to us on episode 91, fresh.
And you never
right
know.
here.
Maybe we'll still get a holiday one out there. You never know. It's happened before.
Hey, Godspeed.
Yeah.
And remember to check out Time to Lean at patreon.com and sleepbaseball.com.
We need a real website. No, we'd have to.
Probably.
You know what I
Costs
did?
money, so we need people.
No, I'll tell you what the Sleep Baseball website is. I've somehow discovered that Google I think they sold this off, but they have Google domains. Right?
Oh,
So
yes.
it's like $11 a year. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So I did the Sleep Baseball, and then they're like, oh, hey, Google also has like a Wix thing that's free. You can just build your website here all in one. You don't have to deal with anything. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like they sold that to somebody else, and I'm not sure. I mean, it still works for me, but I don't know if I'm grandfathered into some dying platform. But there we
Well,
are.
It's
anything Google runs is eventually killed when it's least convenient.
That's true.
I think AOL,
I'm in deep.
AOL, and AOL still going too, isn't it?
Sure. I don't.
Henry Kissinger.
Ew.
Henry Kissinger, AOL. He's got mail.
Too soon.
I don't know. I think we need to end this with the death of Henry Kissinger. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on the line.
You know
Okay,
what? Yeah,
everybody.
I mean, the deal is he's close, and this could totally happen, and this will be. I mean, have it
And
in
then
the
we'll have
hopper.
a song idea.
Have it in the hopper and ready to go.
And it's a telethon. So we're going to keep recording until Henry Kissinger dies.
Ooh, and we'll just we'll each leave while there's a long song being played, and then come back looking haggard and full of cocaine. It's going to be great.
I'm going to have to go get some undergarments. I wonder. No,
And I'm out of socks.
He probably took bathroom breaks.
Oh, for sure. He took nap breaks. He probably was on Percocet. Who knows?
Jerry.
Oh, he'd get a little grumpy with Ed sometimes. I don't know.
Sure.
That was a weird relationship. You know, we probably should have ended this
20 minutes ago.
before we started.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. King.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
This has been really fun talking to you.
It's been
Finally.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I'm a fan. Fan of the
We're
show.
fans.
And
Now you're a friend of the show.
and a friend. Now I can say I'm a friend of the show, and I thank you both very much.
Can be in the pantheon of friends.
I like it.
Wow. Super duper.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and I bid you adieu and a very good evening.
And good luck with editing this one.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Please.
No.
We can talk about death.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did we leave anything out that you wanted to cover, Mr. King?
I think we left it all on the table.
Henry Kissinger. When he was kissing her, he thought of Jimmy Carter at Camp David. His lips were peanut flavored. All night long I long for Jimmy Carter. I am his Hermione, he's my Harry Potter. I am his Horseshack, he's my Mr. Carter. I am a fish and he is a tartar. Henry Kissinger. When he was kissing her, he thought of Jimmy Carter at Camp David. His love has never wavered. I will make you peace in Rhodesia if you only let me come and see ya. Come to me, my lovely Carter. I am a ball, you are a Harlem Globetrotter. Got a turned up his thermostat in his tie and sweater. He was his favorite Democrat. His heart went pitter-patter with his fireside chat and all his stats. Come to me, Jimmy. I'm waiting for you in here in heaven. Yes, somehow I made it to heaven, despite all my transgressions. I made it to heaven without negotiations. Jimmy, my love. Jimmy, I'm waiting.